Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to talk about something very personal to me, and yeah, I know I should have done it like probably the first video that I made, but here I am. I was a devoted Christian and I used to go to the church a lot. I would say every Fridays and Sundays. There was a youth program on Fridays, so that was like the kind of thing I used to do. And on obviously Sunday. I had a lot of influences in my life where I had this woman who was like my neighbor, and she was really like awesome, and she would like pick me up and take me to church with her. And she would buy like Wendy's and be like, oh, if you come to church you'll get Wendy's, so I just like tag along knowing that I'd get free food. No, I'm just joking. She was a kind lady, and yeah, so after time passed, like I used to go probably along from grade 7 till grade 8, and then I experienced some struggles in our life. When I was in grade 8, my brother James, who we call Abdullah, he converted to Islam. And I just remember like seeing him praying and like making fun of him and telling him like, oh, go back and pray with your magic carpet. And we would like fight and stuff, but then he would obviously like push us away and be like, you'll leave me alone, stuff like that. So it was just one of my brothers, and times got really tough, and then we kind of got separated in grade 8. I was in grade 8, so I got separated and we all went to foster care. So my brother still kept his religion as Muslim as we were there for about 5 years. When we were separated in different foster homes, so my brothers were in one foster home and my sister and I were in another. So anyways, back into the story. My foster parents were very Catholic, and I wasn't used to their church. Like, it was too quiet for me. It had like a lot of strict things. I didn't feel motivated anymore about going to church, so I kind of lost touch with like God, but I still had like fear in God a lot because of the way that I was from before. But yeah, so it's like all these changes with my brothers living in my foster home. Like, they'd come over to our place and we'd take turns going to theirs because, you know, they let other children go to other relatives' foster homes. So my brothers would come wearing like thobes and stuff. So I just looked at them and I, alhamdulillah, accepted them and stuff like that. So, you know, I love them. I didn't really know anything about Islam, but I just accepted it because they were my brothers. Yeah, so slowly throughout the years, one by one was like converting to Islam, and I just thought they were all Muslim, so, you know, I just, you know, like respected them and let them do what they wanted. And I got out of that foster home after 5 years, and I ended up living on my own, and I ended up struggling, you know. I just wanted our family to be together, so I kind of opened up my home to them. Like, whenever one of them came out of foster care, because we were all so close in age, I was just like, yeah, come live with me, like, it doesn't matter. And slowly, like, after like I would say 8 years in total, I think I was about 21 or 22, I saw that they were practicing and stuff like that. And, you know, at the time I was going through a lot of emotions and depression and stuff like that, like, because, like, you know, as a kid I kept thinking to myself like, number one, like, we finish school, you know, we graduate, what happens after that? We save our money, we rent an apartment, what happens after that? You get married or you find a person that you love, and then what happens after that? Like, I just kept thinking to myself, like, what happens after that? We get the house that we want, we have a family, what happens after that? And we die. Like, this is just not the way life should be, like, if that makes any sense. So yeah, that would just, like, I would sit there and it would like really depress me, and I would feel like, you know, life wasn't, like, I wasn't enjoying life like I used to, like, you know, going outside and doing stuff and just looking at everybody. I wasn't happy, really, I wasn't. So, yeah, that day came where I asked, I don't know if I've said this, but I have a twin brother, so, and I just turned to him and I asked him questions. I'm like, what happens after this? What are that? He started explaining things to me, like about, like how I need God. I literally just broke down and started crying. I'm like, teach me more, like teach me more. And then he just kept teaching me, and eventually I watched him, I heard them, because they were all in my home, they were all living with me. I heard them praying, and I just remember hearing them recite, like, you know, Al-Fatiha. And I just remember like laying in my bed and thinking to myself, like, why can't I be happy like these guys? Like, what makes them so happy? What makes them so at peace? I need this in my life, you know? So I just heard them and I just started crying, like under my, and I didn't want them to know that I was crying. I remember this so vividly. I was in the other room while they were praying in a separate one, so I just put my blanket like over my head and I just bawled my eyes out. I was just like, oh my God. Like, it was so emotional. Yeah, so the first time I prayed, it was probably the most amazing feeling in my life. I felt like a new human being, you know. Oh my God, I feel emotional. I felt like I was like reborn again, and like everything that I did in my life didn't matter, you know. The first time I prayed, I put my head down and I just cried. I couldn't even get up off the prayer mat. And I remember my brothers, like, I just had to follow through, and I didn't understand much about how to pray or anything. I just wanted to feel connected with God, and that's my story. So it's been 7 years now, and alhamdulillah, I'm married, I have 2 kids, and yeah, so that's my revert story. If you guys need any more details in the story, I'm sure I missed a lot of points, and I know it sounds confusing, but yeah, let me know. Feel free to comment below anything you need me to talk about or answer any questions. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.